Yeah, yesterday we chatted the Lachlan Galvin to Bulldogs and the subsequent dominoes with Toby Sexton looking for another club, we believe, for next year. Reid Marnie told he can talk to rivals now. Okay, before we go on, Brian, any thoughts before we go to the great Gus Gould?
I was just thinking I couldn't sleep last night. I was wondering why I couldn't sleep, because I couldn't sleep about the Tigers.
Of course.
So why isn't it as simple as, why don't we just do a player swap? Let's just have Toby Sexton into 7, frees up Jerome Luai to be 6. They go on to make the semi-finals and they beat
Who?
the Bulldogs. The Tigers. They beat the Bulldogs, and Toby Sexton just gets chaired off. Wouldn't that be a great?
Imagine that.
I would love for that to happen.
As I said, Michael Chammas has had a big year so far. Here he is on 100% football on Channel 9 with Gus Gould. Have your say. We're going to listen to this. We're going to go to Amy Drew of the News. And on the other side of that, we've got your opinions. Listen to this. Intriguing television.
Earlier about him having no involvement. Is that right that you weren't even at the dinner the other night?
I haven't met Lachlan Galvin.
Yeah.
I haven't met Lachlan Galvin.
So
I really haven't.
Why do you not turn up to
What I do
decision?
know is that there's not another CEO, another general manager, or recruitment manager that has to sit on a panel and answer these questions.
But that's your choice,
week in,
Gus.
week out. Eh?
That's your choice.
Yeah, I'm just saying you're getting
Yeah.
free licence here.
Yeah, well,
but what I'm saying is these are things that we do internally. Most of our issues internally are created by the gibber in the media and what you want to do and extend on it.
But it's not gibber. We
It is
predicted
gibber.
it was going to end up
because you say a lot of things that just aren't true, and you say a lot of things that are
We
exaggerated.
played a highlight clip of what you've said over
You're
the last few
exaggerating.
months.
You're exaggerating.
Tell me which one.
All of it.
Yeah, but we hit you about
exaggerate
Lachlan Galvin.
figures, you exaggerate what's going on, and
Okay.
that makes it difficult for us. Now, I don't want to sit here and point out everything that you've done wrong. It doesn't worry me, and it doesn't influence me, but it certainly has effect on the players, and it has an effect on the players and their families, and that's what you don't see, and that's the thing that we've got to mop up. That's the thing
So
that we've got to do.
Then when we ask you about these things, is that why you mislead us with what the information is?
What have I misled you on?
Well, the Galvin situation, for
How did
one.
I mislead you?
Leo Thompson, you said that...
How did I mislead you on Lachlan Galvin?
Gus, you're 3 steps ahead of everyone. To suggest that you didn't think that Galvin
You say that. How did I mislead you on Lachlan Galvin?
What
Go
you
back
said,
to
you
everything
said you
I've
weren't
ever said.
interested.
What?
You said you weren't interested.
I never at
whereas
any time said we weren't interested.
You
I said was...
He's not in your
We're on
plans.
a different course. He's not in our plans because he wasn't off contract till 27.
Yeah, but
We couldn't talk to him till November.
We all knew that was going to... You could
Well,
see
I didn't
what
know
was
that.
unfold.
I didn't know that.
Gus.
No, you're surmising that now because it's happened. You want that to be the
At
truth.
the time, we were all saying, how is
You
this going
want
to be
that
tenable?
to be the truth.
How-
That's what you want. That's the scenario that you want
You
to
didn't see
create.
it happening that way.
No, I didn't see that happening that way at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Mate, I said to you, I joked about here. I said, I don't think it's a coincidence
Why
that you
do you
ended your
assume
feud
that I
with
knew
Isaac
that?
Moses.
Why do you assume? Because it suits your narrative.
It's not about narrative.
It suits
You
the
ended your
media's
feud with
narrative.
Isaac Moses at the end of last year.
It suits
I thought
the
that was
media.
pissed. Then you started...
You go back and
publicly-
review everything I've said about Lachlan Galvin and what transpired, and everything I said was 100% the truth at the time. The goalposts moved this week when they came back and said he could be available now.
And I don't
which I
doubt
took
that.
to the coaches, and the coaches went and met with him. Not me. The coaches went and met
I don't
with
doubt
him.
that.
I met with the manager Thursday after coach come back and said this could be an option. Wasn't my decision. Coach's decision.
So how does it sit with you then when Andrew Webster writes today that there are clubs up in arms that... And you spoke about you have to come on this
I
position.
don't think Andrew Webster writes.
No, but you're
or
sitting
any
on a
journalist
panel-
or any journalist in this town, to be honest.
But the clubs are obviously starting to say, well, why can Gus publicly court Lachlan Galvin? Tell everyone
How
he's
did
the
I
best
publicly
player.
court Lachlan Galvin?
Well, what you said about him, you
What did I
praised him like
say?
I've never heard before about
I've
any
praised a
other
lot
player.
of players. I praised Cameron Smith.
Yeah.
Did I ever offer you a contract, Cameron? No, never. Nor would I think you'd ever become
Do you care though?
available.
Do you care though that other clubs
No.
that saying stuff to the
I
NRL
don't give a
because they
rat's
are?
what other clubs think. You mistake me for someone who cares.
I
Michael,
don't think
is
you care.
there a chance?
Well, what I don't like is being sit here with bloke like you.
Tell me.
Questioning my credibility.
I'm
or
not
questioning
questioning your credibility.
You
No,
are.
I'm
you
not.
said I misled the public. You said I misled you.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
what everyone is
mislead
saying at the
anyone.
moment. Yeah.
No, you're saying it.
I'm not
You're
just
saying
talking
I
about the
misled you.
Galvin
I
situation.
misled no
There is
one.
a number of issues
I
over
misled no
years.
one. I misled no one. Mind your words, son.
Your question, is there a chance that he doesn't even end up at the Bulldogs? Because I'm hearing that his first preference is Parramatta.
Well,
Galvin.
I think for a while that everyone thought he was going to Parramatta, and the talk was potentially his manager wanted him to go to Para, play with Mitchell Moses. But obviously, as I said, Cameron Ciraldo, Luke Vella, the relationship there, and where the Bulldogs are as a club, they're sitting on top of the ladder. It's a different situation to where Parramatta are. Parramatta are completely rebuilding. Perhaps he didn't want to be part of that rebuild. Perhaps what he saw at Canterbury or heard from the club was what interested him the most.
So you're guessing.
No, I'm not guessing.
You haven't spoken to Lachlan Galvin. You're guessing.
Okay.
You're putting out a heap of scenarios.
But you tell me you haven't spoken to Lachlan Galvin either. So
Neither
you and
have
I
I.
are as equally educated on the situation there.
Yeah, but I'm not commenting on what he's saying.
We'll save the
You
fireworks
are.
for Wednesday night here at
To
Suncorp
suit your
Stadium.
narrative.
All I heard was, Colonel Fletcher,
Oh, yeah.
did you order the Coke, Galvin?
You can't handle the truth.
You want that to be the truth.
Oh, that was good. I expect Michael Chammas to be working at the Daily Telegraph by Monday. Gus is pretty powerful. That was great, wasn't it? I hadn't heard that. I hadn't heard that. He got under Gus's skin all right.
That was good. Credit to him. I actually love that stuff. I love Gus, but I love that. He's just dug it in, and he's had a great year, Michael Chammas. He is leading the way, no doubt about that. Brian, I've never seen this before.
No.
Studious work by you in the break where you have gone back and watched that again.
I did. I was enthralled by that. I thought it was AI until I saw the proof that it was on TV.
You're right.
Yeah, the Gus. There was a lot of. I like the little jab, boy. You know,
Yeah.
he goes, and people like you. What did he mean by that when he said to Michael Chammas, "I'm not going to sit here and cop anything for people like you."
Yes.
Let's have a few texts, people. We got hammered here on the text. So New Zealand Tiger in Oz. Chammas got owned by Gus, no doubt about it. I wouldn't get in a debate with Gus on live TV or get in a sauna with him either. How good is Gus? MC is the man. 360 gave it to Gus as well last night. Gus is a media. Yeah. Sorry, boys, but Gus is an A grade. Obviously, smart businessman and footy brain, but I find him hard to listen to. My mates and myself judge blokes on how many beers you can have with them. If you could sit down with a six-pack with a there's a Michael too tolerable, but Gus would be the neck out one, which puts him in the A grade territory. Next one out. Do you need to cough, Brian? I don't need to cough. But that was great. And like you can tell it wasn't contrived at all.
Exactly. That's what we need.
Yeah, we need more of that gear.
That's what we need, Brian. I love that stuff. The run home with Joel and Fletch, thanks to Hyundai's preface. Jump into the dynamic Tucson from 39,990. Drive away. 1300 01 1170. Teamless Tuesday's coming up in a matter of 25 minutes or so, boys. But big news. Seagulls reporting Tom Trbojevic is out
Oh, no.
for their clash with the Broncos.
What's
A
happened?
corked thigh.
Oh, Crichton's got a cork thigh too. It's a cork thigh season.
It is. It is corked. I feel so sorry for this bloke. I mean, honestly. It's such a big investment to get around him.
Yep.
And at his best, he is the best. But it's so hard, Brian.
Well, there's only one thing. I've got one word to fix this.
Hyperbaric chamber.
Nope.
Nope.
Torpedoes.
Yeah, yes.
Why aren't they knocking around with torpedoes? Why aren't they training with torpedoes?
Okay.
Brian Smith was ahead of his time.
Okay, so if there was a player who had to present said torpedoes to these players, who would it be?
Tony Priddle.
Oh, as if it was the Penguin for sure.
Oh, was it?
Graham
I thought-
Bradley.
Oh, yeah. Mick Potter. I just see Mick Potter.
Yeah.
I see, the Penguin had him. But then Tony Priddle just getting a cut-out pass and just going. That was a beauty. He'd run up and there was a cut-out. He knew I was going to ball you. But the torpedoes,
Yeah.
I mean, let's get around it. Stephen Crichton.
Dot your I's and cross your T's. Tell your mates you'll meet them at the Sporting Globe to watch State of Origin, where we're going to be, actually, tomorrow night, which is a big game, of course. Queensland, New South Wales. We'll be there at Darling Harbour. Tourists, let's go to the open line, 1300 01 1170. Brian.
Oh, no, I just wanted to, before we get there, do you feel that Michael Chammas went so hard at Gus because of the Mitchell Moses back down? Do you feel like because you know how he wasn't allowed to appear when Mitch Moses was on 100% footy?
Yep.
Do you think he's been stewing on him? He just said, you know what, I need a crack here.
Like a caged animal.
Yeah, and when he got led on, he just went, you know
Good.
what?
It's good TV, though. It is really good TV.
Yeah, it is.
They're stable mates, and everyone thinks, oh, yeah, we're all get on well, and away we go. And it's great stuff. Anyway, 1300 01 1170, Brooks.
No, I was just going to say, in sport, you don't want contrived arguments. I know sometimes we, pre-show, it's like, oh, do you agree or disagree,
Yeah.
boys?
Sorry,
Should we do
what are you
something?
talking- I'm not in these meetings.
He's not here for
Yeah, I
pre-show.
know you're not there generally via text. But when it's natural like that, and you can tell.
Yeah.
There's words said from Gus's perspective where it's
Yeah.
like if he probably went again, I don't know whether he would consider it. By the sounds of it, he wouldn't. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a rat's
No.
what people think. But that sort of stuff is what you go, that's what we need. And I feel like it's just taken over. The Galvin thing has taken over Origin 1. And we saw it throughout the year, like where these players sit on the pecking order. You feel like DCE's situation wasn't as big as Dylan Brown, which easily wasn't as big as Galvin. And for a young 19-year-old with all this interest, it just shows that the game's moving in the right way, because this 19-year-old is pretty much at the moment, in terms of power rankings, the biggest star in rugby league. In terms of talk about, right?
Yeah, in terms of media clicks.
Reece Walsh probably last year.
Yeah.
And he's just been blown out of the water by Lachlan
Well,
Galvin
and the fact it's a
because of
Bulldogs.
transfer.
The fact it's a Bulldogs.
Yes.
Like if he was going to say Melbourne, this doesn't.
No.
We don't hear any of this.
By the way, I was talking to a mate about this. If the Bulldogs won the comp, who's the Clive?
If the Bulldogs win the comp, who's the Clive?
If Penrith win the comp, who's the Clive?
Penrith?
Yeah.
Nathan.
If the Bulldogs won the Clive, who is it?
Yeah, a Burton maybe?
Yeah, Burton maybe.
Maybe.
It's the most diversified side, I reckon.
Yeah, it's well balanced.
Well balanced, well balanced. Yes, and we are talking Team List Tuesday, and Brian, you won't believe this, Queensland, hammer trained, came off to get a drink, went back on, and he has survived his drinking scare.
Oh, okay. Because, sometimes you've got to be careful. The Gatorade could be spiked.
That's right.
Could be spiked.
Yes, so he's okay to go. He's going to be okay to go, folks. And, Payne Haas is the watch. He'll play. Stephen Crichton, we think he'll play. And we are all set for a big one. Rob Toyer, Bobby Toyer, we like to call him. He'll be marking Latrell Mitchell. Cannot wait for this. It's a sellout, by the way. No surprises there. Suncorp Stadium, bring it on. We have all the calls here at SEN. We've got the Blues call, the Maroons bias call, we've got the neutral call. It is loaded.
Well, you'd think it'd be sold out because they only put 50,000 up there. Why don't they get a proper stadium up there? Like a big 80,000 bastard. They're shortchanging the Queenslanders.
I get you, Brian. I get you.
Come on, Mins.
Well,
What
they
do
got
you
the-
got? Mins, show them the way.
They've got the Olympics in 2032, Fletch. So hopefully
Yeah.
they're building something
Whacking in there.
on a core style.
Okay, so I'm leading us out, am I?
You lead us out on a Friday night. Let's go
Friday
to
night.
Jubilee there
8
in the
p.m.
heartland of Cogra. Dragons taking on the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah,
Fletch.
so let's go to the Dragons first. Well, make it rain. Christian Tuipulotu, he's back from his
yeah.
hamstrings.
Oh, wow.
So he's going to make it
Here we
rain.
go.
Corey Allen, AN, not EN, he's going to make way. And poor old Dylan Egan, he's not going to be there. So Luciano Leilua is promoted to the start, and Toby Couchman joins the bench. And Turkish Delight, well, he's been listed as 18th man because he hurt his shoulder in Magic Round. I saw that, Emre Gula. Knights, Kalen Pong has been named. We just can't. You got to, with Origin players.
Yep.
I'm doing my tips this weekend without them playing.
What's your rule, you reckon? Like,
I'm just saying because they can't back up.
So, of the players playing, so there's a lot of buys this week. What percentage available backup?
I'm going to say less than 30.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, wow. So Penrith in the past would have rested a lot. Do you
Yeah,
reckon
they
they
can't
all...
now.
They can't.
They can't, but they
Hey,
will.
Thomas.
I think they will.
Hey, Thomas. They get number 7 in the
Yeah,
Knights.
he's in. Yeah.
So Caitlin's been named. Fletcher Sharp's going back to 5'8". Tyson Gamble to halfback. Where's the
Cogger,
Cog man?
18th,
Oh,
man.
okay. So Leo Thompson is back after he's missed the Panthers game. Brody Jones is on the bench. Adam Elliott is sidelined with those big biceps, and Matt Croker will start at lock. And Jack Hetherington is going to punch someone's face off in the tunnel.
They're not even teasing us anymore. Hastings has not even been teased.
No, he's gone.
They're not even teasing us.
done.
By the way, Connor Vitano, I think we learned during the week, his younger brother. So he's been playing fullback, Connor Vitano, for the New South Wales Cup for Newcastle, but we believe his younger brother, again, is the one being sought after by the Melbourne Storm. All righty, let's go to you, Brooksy, and
Speaking of.
take us up to a 3 o'clock game. The Melbourne Storm travel to the Gold Coast Titans.
All right, Gold Coast Titans, boys. Desi loves a shuffle. He's done it again. His back line, Jalen de Groot, is back at fullback. AJ 5'8". Kieran Foran back to the bench. Brian Kelly comes into the centres for Tony Francis. He's named the Maroon Stars. Bo Famore, Tino Fa'asua Mala'awi, named to back up. His brother Isaac is listed among the reserves. He was out last week due to concussion, so we could have a double Fa'asua Mala'awi brothers. Storm. They've named their Origin reps in the game. Bronson Garlick has been named on the bench. So he was 18th man last week, so maybe that's a wait and see on Harry. Didn't play the full 80 in his return. Got the big game on Wednesday. Is that one of these? Is that your 30%er maybe? Maybe an H.
Can
Harry?
I increase it? I'm going to increase it to 45%.
45%.
I'm just thinking there's a lot of desperate teams out there. Chooks will have their 5. Penrith have their 5. The coach will say, look, we can't afford it.
Yep.
These teams were in the news earlier in the week, on the weekend, gents, with the Josiah Pahulu set to leave the Titans to go to the Storm.
That's a good get. That's a great get.
They've done it before with Max King. Remember, he was a Titan, went to the Storm, and
I can't
look at
believe
him go.
I like him. I
Yeah.
like how he's done some. I reckon he's a terrific player.
So just repeat that, Brooks, for those who missed that. They're driving home, they're busy. Say that again.
AKA, you weren't listening.
Which part?
That's right. Did you say Josiah Pahalu going to the Melbourne Storm?
He's going to the Storm, yes.
What about the paranoia? If you're
Paranoia. That's a good one for the Eels.
If you're the club and you kind of been showing scant regard for this player who's going okay for you, and then the Melbourne Storm come in and go, wouldn't your heart drop?
Yeah, you go,
Wait, what have we missed?
Yeah.
No, but it's pretty obvious. Like when you watch him play,
I know.
He's straight up and down, but I think he's a great player. Like
100%,
big
Brian.
kid, gets a quick play the ball. You know he's just going to aim up down there.
Yeah, so big one there, gents. Titans.
But in the fair dinkum stakes, boys, look at the team list.
Yes, which part?
Like the whole part.
Whole part?
Why are they not winning games? Like there is enough there to be winning a lot of games, isn't there?
The Titans, yes.
Yeah, of course there is.
Yep.
By the way, the extended bench, and this is what the Melbourne Storm do. Joe Chan, these blokes don't even make the 17.
There you go.
Joe Chan, Jackie Howarth, Kane Bradley, Valepu, Marion Seve, Lasardi, the list goes on. They are stacked.
Jackie Howarth's playing. If he's named in the squad,
he's playing.
He's playing.
So who drops out? Grant.
Centers?
Grant Anderson. Grant Anderson will drop out, maybe go onto the wing.
They are truly Melbourne Storm. When you think about the Bulldogs and you're going, where will blah, blah play? It's just about having 20 gun players, isn't it? And Melbourne are like that. They're like, we don't know who's going to be playing where, but we've got 20 really good players and we'll be okay come the day.
Can I ask about the Brick?
Yes, you can.
So I know he had concussion issues. It's been a while now. We should be worrying about him?
Brick?
The Brick? I haven't seen him. I know he had the concussion protocols, but that was a long time
Brooks should come
ago.
back to us. That's his game. He should have done his due diligence.
No, it's a question without notice.
It was without notice.
It was massively without notice.
Yes.
Let's go.
Tourists, take us up to QCB and take us there on a Saturday at 5:30 p.m. in your beautiful, beautiful axe-throwing shirt.
Yeah, it is a bit tartany. Yeah, I'll give you that, yeah. Cowboys versus the West Tigers. So, Dearden, Nanai and Cotter.
Sorry, hang on. Whoa. Brian didn't pick that up. Cowboys versus whom? West Tigers. Thank you.
Yes.
Dearden, Nanai and Cotter, they've all been named, with Jackson Paulo coming in for Murray Talangi, who's out with a calf injury. Sam McIntyre moves to prop, and Cohen Hess to the bench. That is if Cotter comes into the lock position after Origin, if he backs up. For the West Tigers,
where's Galvin?
we've got to look into the
where
future
is he?
potentially for the
Okay.
rest of what might be going on with the West Tigers season.
West Magpies.
Exactly. Well, 5'8" Lachlan Galvin has been replaced by Heath Mason.
Oh.
So Heath Mason,
Freemason.
The Freemason is partnering Jerome Luai in the halves. That means that Adam Dewey is your centre.
Yeah,
your only real
Dewey's the
change.
6. Heath's in the centres. Go on.
Samuel Afanu, he's good to go, despite any injury. Fanua Pole still not quite ready to play.
He's a miss.
But that's the, that's the big one there. Heath Mason, 5'8" with Jerome Luai. They're hoping this is going to run it for the rest of the year, right?
Sorry, Brooksy, have they persisted with Purdue in the 6 jersey?
Purdue is in 6 with Tony Dearden. No changes there.
Fair enough.
Kentucky on the wing.
Duckman
Jackson Paul on the
19.
wing.
Kentucky on the wing.
But that means he's done. It's the rumours. We haven't heard anything official.
Maybe he's
No
picked up
more
an injury.
games.
Well, he's officially
that's done.
It's so this is. Are we probably seeing something happen after Origin?
Yeah.
I think we see something before the end of the week.
So where can we? This is not a crow as such, but it's like, are we seeing Galvin debut on the public holiday Monday at a core against Para?
Live on SEN.
Yeah, definitely.
Off the bench.
Wow.
So, you know what I honestly think? I think the move is this. A bit like Melbourne Storm, I reckon Sexton stays there. And they're pushed the Reid Marnie, which is unfortunate. Bailey Hayward goes to 9.
Yep.
And then I think Galvin takes up the Bailey Hayward role on the bench.
Correct.
That's the most seamless way.
Assimilate through the bench.
I think so. And then if it's going too well, then you can put Sexton back to that role.
What if you were Toby Sexton and you get offered to go to West Tigers now?
No, you
wouldn't?
can't. No.
You say no.
But it's you don't win too many comps in your life.
So you just
this is
thinking,
an opportunity to
I'm all
win
in.
a comp.
I'm all in. What if it happens in 4 weeks? He's playing reserve grade, and he's missed it. No, he's missed it. He missed
a chance to
he
jump
missed a
before
chance
June
to
30.
No,
Chris
you know,
Cross.
if I had my time again,
Chris Cross make you jump.
how many times have we seen premierships won by players who just toughed it out? They stayed there on the periphery, and then come grand final day, something happened, put them in the side, and now they've got premiership rings.
The murderer.
The murderer.
He did it too.
He
Did he do it twice?
Did he do it twice?
Oh, Momirovski, yeah.
The murderer do it twice.
At the
He did
Roosters and the
Storm
Panthers?
Storm? Wasn't it Storm?
and the Chooks.
COVID Storm?
Yeah, I think
Team?
twice.
Yeah.
Twice. He was at the Roosters,
Yes.
went a long way there too,
Yeah.
the murderer.
Yeah.
He's a prolific sort of
Serial.
Yeah.
stand
He's
by
a
me
serial
now.
And the murderer-
premiership winner.
And a
Richard
shout
Davis.
out to the murderer. He's retired.
He has.
Yeah.
He's kicking back there at Piermont. You should knock around in tourist.
I no longer live there, but thank you for the offer.
Okay, fair enough.
The John Bateman Cup, by the way. Playing
Okay.
against his former side.
The John Bateman Cup, exactly right. What's the big news here? Lee Hopewadi's been named at fullback, so no surprise there. Tommy sidelined with a corked thigh. Tommy Talau comes on the wing in return of, he had a hamstring concern for him. Daly Cherry Evans, he's named to back up, but again, Brian says about 45% chance. Jacob Arthur goes to reserves. A double boost in the pack with Josh Aloye and Ben Trbojevic. They are returning. So it was an illness for Ben Turbo, or Burbo. He comes back. Siwa Takaaho is out, and we've heard from the coach. He says he's been ultra consistent. Has Takaaho. He's out with a calf injury. Jake Trbojevic is being given another week to recover. So he was no chance of playing Origin. For the Broncos, Carrigan, Haas have been named to back up. As you said, Brian, there's a lot of teams who are desperate to get them back. Jesse Arthurs makes a switch to fullback.
Oh, we don't like that.
No, we don't. For those painting a picture,
That's
man,
a different
top try
picture.
scorer. Yes, Selwyn Cobbo goes to the wing.
Wow.
After 4 games, the number 1 jersey. Ben Takura, he's the big tall fellow. He goes on the bench in place of Fletcher Baker, who drops to the reserve. So that's how that's all shaping up, folks. That's the way it's playing out. Manly and the Broncos, which I think that was their first ever game, wasn't it? The Broncos
88.
took on the Manly side in 1988. Brian, what have you got for us as we head to Accor Stadium on a
Accor
Sunday
Stadium.
afternoon?
Oh, it's going to be dry. It's going to be awesome. Bunnies first, the Wars, just the one change. They got the job done. So Sean Kepi is joining the bench in place of the Frenchman, Liam LeBlanc.
Bonjour.
We like him. Latrell is named, but I feel that he may not play. Let's go look at the Warriors. James Fisher-Harris returns from taking someone's head off again. Rocco Berry, he's back. Yes, please.
Yep.
Desert is back. Mitch Barnett's been named as captain. Leka Halasima, goes back to the bench.
It's a strong team when you put him into the bench.
Yeah, well, I think he didn't have the greatest of games last week, and I feel that
You get that with the youngsters?
I feel that maybe they're just going to say, righto.
Yep.
Webby just said, drop off a little bit.
Solid bench.
This is going to be a very, very good game.
Crow me, please, Maestro, crow me. I've got a crow here. Without any research, just based on what Fletcher's been saying about players backing up, because it almost seems like every player you've mentioned probably needs to back up. I'm proposing that this state of origin, we've had the most players of all time
Back up.
currently outside the 8.
Okay.
Do you reckon?
Out of the 34, what are you saying?
I'm saying it's the most ever going in the state of origin one where we
give,
picked.
give me a percentage.
I reckon greater than 50% are
Ooh.
outside the 8.
Okay. Oh, okay.
What do you reckon?
Yeah. Could do.
And that'd be a record, wouldn't it?
That would be a record. Oh, no, back in the day, everyone used to play. Everyone used to back up.
No, I'm not saying backing up. I'm saying people picked for origin,
Yeah.
picked for teams out of form.
Oh, sorry.
I reckon more than 50% of the origin team
Okay.
are from teams who are not even in the 8.
Chooks, Penrith, there's 10.
Yeah.
There's 10 already.
Cowboys would have a few.
Cowboys
Are they
have
in the 8?
got- Yeah, they're in the 8.
Yes,
They're in the 8.
and
They're in the
Broncos.
8. Broncos are in the 8.
Well, Broncos have only got one.
Roosters
2.
They're out of the 8.
Tino at
Yes.
the Titans.
and
Titans.
Panthers.
It'd be a lot. It'd be
I
a
like
lot
that
who's
one.
outside the 8. It'd be a lot. 1300 01 1170. Let's move on. Are you done with that, Brian?
I'm done.
Okay, all right, let's move on. Take us to CommBank Stadium. Whose home game? That's the question, Brooks. Whose home game?
I don't know. I've got a couple of
Panthers.
things. Just before, I just saw the ladder. Warriors are -1 with 8 wins and 3 losses.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that before.
No.
Like a team going so well, -1. So what's that? Big losses.
It's their
Small wins.
It's their attack.
The
Yeah.
Storm pumped them too, which didn't help.
Yeah, we did mention, I think, on Monday. So 7 games this season were 8 points or less, and they've won 7 of them. And that was their first loss this year.
Yep.
And more news on Lachlan Galvin.
Oh, can we
So
stop
the
it?
Tigers have made decision not to select Galvin in any grade.
So it's not official.
A grade, B grade.
So it's not official yet. It's
He
not
is-
official that he's gone.
Well, he has also been excused from training commitments this week.
Gotcha. So they just say,
Yeah, it's all done.
but nothing's official.
No, it's nothing.
Yeah, so big news there, guys. Okay, so yes, CommBank Stadium, but the Penny Panthers are the home team, gents. This will be an interesting one out there. There's 2 players here that I'm really intrigued to watch in this game. They played for their other team that they're going up against. It's the number 1 for the away team, Isaiah Yongi.
Yongi, yep.
Yongi, and number 6 plays Talangi.
Yep.
Basically an unofficial trade. Both have been playing well, different levels. Yongi's been an absolute star for the Eels, so he's going to be at the back for the Eels, but before that, the Panthers. So they've named their origin reps. All of them. Edwards, To'o, Cleary, Yo, and Martin. Back rower Scott Sorensen returns from suspension. Means Isaac Tungo returns to the centres. Harrison Hazlitt. He's scoring debut last week up there.
He did score last week,
He keeps his place on the bench after his strong debut against the Knights. Thank you, NRL.com. Dane Laurie and Paul Alamotti have dropped to the reserves. And Brad
Alamotti.
Schneider has as well. So Eels, Mitch Moses and Zach Lomax, if they get through Origin duty, they will be named to start.
Alamotti has been dropped to reserves.
Yes,
Grand
to
final
the
hero.
reserves. Yeah.
Janko's in.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's got his
He's
Wow.
got jersey number 23, Alamotti. But, you know, this
Trouble in paradise.
could well be.
Where's my man, Sam Rani?
He's there.
Sam Riney,
God,
he's
I love
there.
He's
How
there,
good-
Brian.
So those 3 young guns that have come through for the Eels this year, we had Josh Papali, we had Jordan Samrani, we've had Kitione Katonga,
Yep.
all Bulldogs.
Mm.
They've
Correct.
done some savvy recruitment from the Dogs, obviously trying to build their squad with bigger names. The Eels have just come in, grabbed these guys, and 2 of them are now regular starters in the team. So the Eels side, gents, Moses and Lomax will be returning from Origin duty and be starting if they get through. Dean Hawkins goes to the reserves. And Sean Russell slides to the wing, from wing to centre to replace Penasini, who's got concussion issues.
Who was that, Brooks?
Will Penasini
Okay.
is out. Sean Russell will move to the centres.
G'day.
Josh Papali returns his place on the bench after his debut last week against the Seagulls. Boys,
Good luck tipping that one.
We've got an update
it's
here.
15 v 17, but
Freshwater
exciting.
Stormer just answered your question. He's done all our research.
Yeah, I thought someone would.
20 out of the 34 players are from teams outside the 8.
20 of the 34.
20 out of
Wow.
34. Thank you very
That's
much.
a record. I reckon I'm declaring that as a record. 20 from 34. Freshwater Stormer is declaring Crapstat that they are outside the 8.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say 99 with that red hot Brisbane team. They were out of the 8 by. Remember they lost to the first 9 or first 10, and that.
You think that would go past at 99?
I feel.
20 of 34 is a big number.
Yeah. Freshwater Stormer, can you just find out in 1999
Yeah.
how many players were out? Were from teams outside the 8 going into Origin 1. Thank you very much.
have you just said bye-bye Claude, hello Freshwater Stormer?
Yeah.
Delegate.
Wow.
It's all about delegating.
Freshwater Stormer, 1973, there was no state of origin and nor was there a top 8. But can you please go back and find...
Yes, and say how many? Who are the ball? Who are the Freshwater Stormer? Who are the ball boys in the 1974 MCO Cup final?
You'll know that. 1300 01 1170. Touristo, we've got maybe one of our final 6:15 games on a Sunday afternoon. Allianz Stadium. Don't mention Mal Meninga back in the 90s against the Roosters when he scored. Did he score 5, Brian?
5. Was it like
Seaford?
Yeah.
Yeah, Seaford Oval.
Seaford Oval?
I mean, I can just
60
have,
to 4,
I have
maybe?
visions of Gary Worth just getting
Oh,
poleaxed.
yeah.
Was it a night game or would you
Or was
say
it Kurt
scream?
Sherlock? I think it was Kurt Sherlock or Wayne Chalice. No, Wayne Portlock.
Wayne Portlock.
Yeah, he just got hammered.
Screams of a Saturday afternoon. ABC game, that, didn't it?
Oh, gosh, I used to love them.
How good. Tourist.
Simple
Roosters,
times.
providing they get a clean bill of health from Origin, they'll have Lindsay Collins, Spencer Lenu, Connor Watson, Bobby the Destroyer, and Angus Crichton all backing up on Sunday. Celessi Fiketti and Egan Butcher, they go to the bench. And Dom Young is your 18th man for the Roosters.
Oh, okay.
For the Raiders, Nick Knack, Owen Paddy, he will make his start this week in place of the suspended Tommy Starling. Hudson Rowe, he'll back up, providing he comes in healthy from Origin duty.
Hudson who?
Hudson Young?
Didn't you say Hudson Rowe?
Hudson Young.
Yeah, okay.
Back rower Hudson Young comes back in after missing the Warriors on Origin's duty. Simi Sasagi, he reverts to the bench, which means no Noah Martin. Danny Levi has been added to the interchange as the backup hooker for the first NRL game of the year.
What a man, Danny Levi. This is a bloke who this time last year was probably the starting hooker, and now you got Nick Knack, you got Starling who's flying. You've got the signing of Brayley, and he's still turning up. Again, Brian, a chance to win a grand final. You've got to hang around the good clubs.
Yeah, I'm liking that. Just, I wasn't listening. What happened to Starlo? What's he done?
Suspended.
One game.
One game.
He climbed a ladder to
that's
whack
right.
a bloke.
That's right.
Towards the end of the game.
That's right. I saw remember that.
That's what he did. There you go, folks. So that are the team changes for round 13 of the National Rugby League. Maestro, have you got a best of the week, Maestro?
Broncos to beat Manly. That's my best of the week.
Oh, you have given
I'm
up.
off it.
Alexander Downer.
Alan Moffat.
Brooksy, you just go through that Roosters team that got beat pumped by.
was
Just give me some notable names.
66-4, round 5, 1990. Wayne Portlock at fullback. Steve Georgalis, the 5'8". Salvatore, Dave Truella and Martin Quinn were your front row. The back row, Trevor Gilmeister, Paul Vorton, Hugh McGahn. Co-captains, Fatty and McGahn. On the bench, number 16, Sandy Campbell. Number 44, Steve Hardy. And number 49, Trevor Patterson. Your coach, RF. Russell Fairfax, sorry.
Russell Fairfax.
I shouldn't have said that.
I'm just going to go pick up my ball over there.
The old leather wedge.
You're still here? We'll see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio. Because if you don't, you're an A grade. But if you do, you're the absolute Mickey.